Well, the French newspaper Le Monde broke the news that it was a Moroccan security agency that targeted President Macron. However, the Moroccan government has denied that. Well, let's get more from our chief foreign editor, Rob Parsons, who joins me now. Rob, France is clearly taking this extremely seriously.
Okay, YouTubers. So this time I'm going to talk about Pegasus Spyware. So for those who are not familiar with these terminologies, I'm going to explain. Pegasus is a name, so the spyware. So this is a spyware. The spyware is called Pegasus. So the spyware is basically a software that can be used to spy on devices. It could be a computer, it could be a phone, or it could be any others. But mostly it's mobile phones in this case. So the reason I'm talking about this one is, so this spyware targets mobile Android and iOS phones, and as you see the news, the French president was targeted by this spyware. That's why the whole cabinet was targeted. That's the reason why they have to change completely their phones and change their numbers. And the France was accusing a Moroccan government of being the perpetrator of this spyware, and the Moroccan government completely denied. So the technology itself was created by an Israeli company, and it's basically the technology. Israeli companies sell the licenses to to the governments, and so those governments, especially many of them are what do you call it, authoritarian government, and they use it to spy on activists and on political opponents. And it's very concerning because this is not the first time Israeli companies providing technology assistance to very authoritarian government to basically spy on activists and the political opponents. And it's, I don't know, it's not really it doesn't really build a nice image on the top of the image that Israel already has. So I'm not saying the government per se, but the companies, mostly spyware companies, seems to be most of them from Israel, and they are very sophisticated in terms of targeting and getting information. So what the spyware, the software does is, for somehow they'll be able to send it to your phone. Or, basically that's why you have to be very careful if you receive a link from anyone, because if you click on the link, that link can trigger, trigger spyware, so that they can spy on you, or they can, and in many cases, what it does is it collects, it monitors your whole device, and it triggers your camera and the microphone, and it collects messages. So basically, it is in control, and in many cases, you are not even aware of that. And and I would suggest for people who are activists, who are combating I don't know, whatever causes, and they're living in authoritarian governments, they have to be very careful because there are a lot of tools these authoritarian governments can use to target you. And if you are not careful, you'll be I don't know, blackmailed or humiliated. So you have to be very careful anything that you get on it. What I do is don't trust anything on the internet. It's very fishy. The internet is very sophisticated, and so you have to be extremely careful in terms of receiving emails, in terms of communicating with people. Okay, so this is an advice I would like to put out. So, so this is something that happened recently, and because it is the software, I'm a little bit, I would like to get to know a little bit what's going on there. So I just want to put out there, especially to warn people who are fighting against authoritarian government, because there are a lot of who use as this spyware. People use that to really target and in some cases eliminate opponents. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, thumbs up, thumbs down, share it. Goodbye.